Welcome to Slothful Slumber, the podcast where we transform the vast knowledge of the internet into a gentle lullaby for your mind. I'm your host, Luna Dreamwell, and I'm here to guide you on a journey to tranquility through the soothing cadence of Wikipedia articles. Each episode will delve into the most wonderfully mundane and sleep-inducing topics, helping you drift off into a realm of serene dreams. So find your comfortable space, close your eyes, and let the dull hum of information carry you into a restful slumber. Now, let's embark on tonight's voyage of tranquil learning as we explore a topic so peacefully uneventful, it just might whisk you away to the land of dreams. This Wikipedia article is titled Jade. Jade is a mineral used as jewelry or for ornaments. It is typically green, although may be yellow or white. Jade can refer to either of two different silicate minerals: nephrite, a silicate of calcium and magnesium in the amphibole group of minerals, or jadeite, a silicate of sodium and aluminium in the pyroxene group of minerals. Jade is well known for its ornamental use in East Asian, South Asian, and Southeast Asian art. It is commonly used in Latin America, such as Mexico and Guatemala. The use of jade in Mesoamerica for symbolic and ideological ritual was influenced by its rarity and value among pre-Columbian Mesoamerican cultures, such as the Olmecs, the Maya, and other ancient civilizations of the Valley of Mexico. Etymology. The English word jade is derived via French le jade and Latin ilia, flanks, kidney area, from the Spanish term piedra de híjada, first recorded in 1565, or loinstone, from its reputed efficacy in curing ailments of the loins and kidneys. Nephrite is derived from lapis nephriticus, a Latin translation of the Spanish piedra de híjada. History: East Asia. Prehistoric and historic China. During Neolithic times, the key known sources of nephrite jade in China for utilitarian and ceremonial jade items were the now depleted deposits in the Ningxiao area in the Yangtze River Delta, Liangzhu culture 3400 to 2250 BC, and in an area of the Liaoning province and Inner Mongolia, Hongshan culture 4700 to 2200 BC. Dushan jade, imitation jade, was being mined as early as 6000 BC. In the Yin ruins of the Shang dynasty, 1600 to 1050 BC, in Anyang, Dushan jade ornaments were unearthed in the tomb of the Shang kings. Jade was considered to be the imperial gem and was used to create many utilitarian and ceremonial objects, from indoor decorative items to jade burial suits. From the earliest Chinese dynasties to the present, the jade deposits most used were not only those of Khotan in the western Chinese province of Xinjiang, but other parts of China as well, such as Lantian, Shanxi. There, white and greenish nephrite jade is found in small quarries and as pebbles and boulders in the rivers flowing from the Kwenlun mountain range eastward into the Taklamakan desert area. The river jade collection is concentrated in the Yarkand, the white jade, Urunkash, and black jade, Karakash, rivers. From the kingdom of Khotan, on the southern leg of the Silk Road, yearly tribute payments consisting of the most precious white jade were made to the Chinese imperial court, and they're worked into objet d'art by skilled artisans, as jade had a status value exceeding that of gold or silver. Jade became a favorite material for the crafting of Chinese scholars' objects, such as rests for calligraphy brushes, as well as the mouthpieces of some opium pipes, due to the belief that breathing through jade would bestow longevity upon smokers who used such a pipe. Jadeite, with its bright emerald green, pink, lavender, orange, and brown colors, was imported from Burma to China only after about 1800. The vivid green variety became known as fei kui, or kingfisher, feathers, jade. It quickly became almost as popular as nephrite and a favorite of Qing dynasty's nouveau riche, while scholars still had strong attachment to nephrite, white jade, or khotan, which they deemed to be the symbol of a nobleman. In the history of the art of the Chinese Empire, jade has had a special significance, comparable with that of gold and diamonds in the West. Jade was used for the finest objects and cult figures, and for grave furnishings for high-ranking members of the imperial family. Due to that significance and the rising middle class in China, in 2010, the finest jade, when found in nuggets of mutton fat jade, so named for its marbled white consistency, could sell for $3,000 an ounce, a tenfold increase from a decade previously. The Chinese character yu is used to denote the several types of stone known in English as jade, for example, yuqi, jade wares, such as jadeite, yingyu, hard jade, another name for fei kui, and nephrite, ruin yu, soft jade. But because of the value added culturally to jades throughout Chinese history, the word has also come to refer more generally to precious or ornamental stones, and is very common in more symbolic usages. Prehistoric and historic Japan. Jade in Japan was used for jade bracelets. It was a symbol of wealth and power. Leaders also used jade in rituals. It is the national stone of Japan. Examples of use in Japan can be traced back to the early Jomon period, about 7,000 years ago. XRF analysis results have revealed that all jade used in Japan since the Jomon period is from Itoigawa. The jade culture that blossomed in ancient Japan respected green ones, and jade of other colors was not used. There is a theory that the reason why the meaning is that it was believed that the color of green enables the reproduction of fertility, the life, and the soul of the earth. Prehistoric and historic Korea. The use of jade and other greenstone was a long-term tradition in Korea, circa 850 BC to AD 668. Jade is found in small numbers of pit houses and burials. The craft production of small comma-shaped and tubular jades, using materials such as jade, microcline, jasper, etc., in southern Korea originates from the Middle Mumin pottery period, circa 850 to 550 BC. Comma-shaped jades are found on some of the gold crowns of Silla royalty, circa 30 or 400 to 668 AD, and sumptuous elite burials of the Korean Three Kingdoms. After the state of Silla united the Korean peninsula in 668, the widespread popularization of death rituals related to Buddhism resulted in the decline of the use of jade in burials as prestige mortuary goods. South Asia. India. The Jain temple of Kolimpak in the Nalgonda district, Telangana, India is home to a 5-foot, 1.5 meters, high sculpture of Mahavira that is carved entirely out of jade. India is also noted for its craftsman tradition of using large amounts of green serpentine, or false jade, obtained primarily from Afghanistan in order to fashion jewelry and ornamental items such as sword hilts and dagger handles. The Salar Jung Museum in Hyderabad has a wide range of jade-hilted daggers, mostly owned by the former sultans of Hyderabad. Southeast Asia, Myanmar. Today, it is estimated that Myanmar is the origin of upwards of 70% of the world's supply of high-quality jadeite. Most of the jadeite mined in Myanmar is not cut for use in Myanmar, instead being transported to other nations, primarily in Asia, for use in jewelry and other products. The jadeite deposits found in Kachinland, in Myanmar's northern regions, is the highest quality jadeite in the world, considered precious by sources in China going as far back as the 10th century. Jadeite in Myanmar is primarily found in the Jade Tract, located in Longkan Township in Kachin State in northern Myanmar, which encompasses the alluvial region of the Uyu River between the 25th and 26th parallels. Present-day extraction of jade in this region occurs at the Phakant Gai, Mao Seza, Tintin, and Kansi mines. Kansi is also the only mine that produces Ma Sit Sit, a type of jade. Mines at Taomao and Hueca are mostly exhausted. From 1964 to 1981, mining was exclusively an enterprise of the Myanmar government. In 1981, 1985, and 1995, the gemstone laws were modified to allow increasing private enterprise. In addition to this region, there are also notable mines in the neighboring Sagaing district near the towns of Nasibon and Natma and Kamti. Sagaing is a district in Myanmar proper, not a part of the ethnic Kachin state. Taiwan, Philippines, and maritime Southeast Asia. Carved nephrite jade was the main commodity trade during the historical Maritime Jade Road, an extensive trading network connecting multiple areas in Southeast and East Asia. The nephrite jade was mined in East Taiwan by animist Taiwanese indigenous peoples and processed mostly in the Philippines by animist indigenous Filipinos. Some were also processed in Vietnam, while the peoples of Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, and Cambodia also participated in the massive animist-led nephrite jade trading network, where other commodities were also traded. Participants in the network at the time had a majority animist population. The Maritime Road is one of the most extensive sea-based trade networks of a single geological material in the prehistoric world. It was in existence for at least 3,000 years, where its peak production was from 2000 BCE to 500 CE, older than the Silk Road in mainland Eurasia. It began to wane during its final centuries from 500 CE until 1000 CE. The entire period of the network was a golden age for the diverse animist societies of the region. Others. Maori. Nephrite jade in New Zealand is known as punamu in the Maori language, often called greenstone in New Zealand English, and plays an important role in Maori culture. It is considered a taonga, or treasure, and therefore protected under the Treaty of Waitangi, and the exploitation of it is restricted and closely monitored. It is found only in the South Island of New Zealand, known as Te Wai Punamu in Maori, the land of greenstone water, or Te Wahi Punamu, the place of greenstone. Punamu taonga increase in mana, prestige, as they pass from one generation to another. The most prized taonga are those with known histories going back many generations. These are believed to have their own mana and were often given as gifts to seal important agreements. Tools, weapons, and ornaments were made of it, in particular adzes, the mirror, short club, and the haitiki, neck pendant. Nephrite jewelry of Maori design is widely popular with locals and tourists, although some of the jade used for these is now imported from British Columbia and elsewhere. Punamu taonga include tools such as toki, adzes, wau, chisels, wau wakakoka, gouges, ripi punamu, knives, scrapers, awls, hammerstones, and drill points. Hunting tools include matau, fishing hooks, and lures, spear points, and kakaporia, leg rings for fastening captive birds. Weapons such as mir, short-handled clubs, and ornaments such as pendants, heitiki, heimatau, and pekapeka, ear pendants, kuru and kapeu, and cloak pins. Functional punamu tools were widely worn for both practical and ornamental reasons, and continued to be worn as purely ornamental pendants, hei kaki, even after they were no longer used as tools. Mesoamerica. Jade was a rare and valued material in pre-Columbian Mesoamerica. The only source from which the various indigenous cultures, such as the Olmec and Maya, could obtain jade was located in the Motagua River Valley in Guatemala. Jade was largely an elite good and was usually carved in various ways, whether serving as a medium upon which hieroglyphs were inscribed or shaped into symbolic figurines. Generally, the material was highly symbolic, and it was often employed in the performance of ideological practices and rituals. Canada. Jade was first identified in Canada by Chinese settlers in 1886 in British Columbia. At this time, jade was considered worthless because they were searching for gold. Jade was not commercialized in Canada until the 1970s. The mining business Loix James Limited, which was started by two Californians, began commercial mining of Canadian jade in 1972. Mining is done from large boulders that contain bountiful deposits of jade. Jade is exposed using diamond-tipped core drills in order to extract samples. This is done to ensure that the jade meets requirements. Hydraulic spreaders are then inserted into cleavage points in the rock so that the jade can be broken away. Once the boulders are removed and the jade is accessible, it is broken down into more manageable 10-ton pieces using water-cooled diamond saws. The jade is then loaded onto trucks and transported to the proper storage facilities. Russia. Russia imported jade from China for a long time, but in the 1860s, its own jade deposits were found in Siberia. Today, the main deposits of jade are located in eastern Siberia, but jade is also extracted in the polar Urals and in the Krasnoyarsk territory, Kantagirskoye and Kurtushibinskoye deposits. Russian raw jade reserves are estimated at 336 tons. Russian jade culture is closely connected with such jewelry production as Fabergé, whose workshops combined the greenstone with gold, diamonds, emeralds, and rubies. Siberia. In the 1950s and 1960s, there was a strong belief among many Siberians, which stemmed from tradition, that jade was part of a class of sacred objects that had life. Mongolia. In the 1950s and 1960s, there was a strong belief among many Mongolians, which came from ancient tradition, that jade was part of a class of sacred objects that had life. The mineral. Nephrite and jadeite. It was not until 1863 that French mineralogist Alexis de Moore determined that what was referred to as jade could in fact be one of two different minerals, either nephrite or jadeite. Nephrite consists of a microcrystalline, interlocking fibrous matrix of the calcium, magnesium iron-rich amphibole mineral series, tremolite, calcium magnesium, ferroactinolite, calcium magnesium iron. The middle member of this series with an intermediate composition is called actinolite. The silky fibrous mineral form is one form of asbestos. The higher the iron content, the greener the color. Tremolite occurs in metamorphosed dolomitic limestones and actinolite in metamorphic green schists, glaucophane schists. Jadeite is a sodium and aluminium-rich pyroxene. The more precious kind of jade, this is a microcrystalline interlocking growth of crystals, not a fibrous matrix as nephrite is. It only occurs in metamorphic rocks. Both nephrite and jadeite were used from prehistoric periods for hardstone carving. Jadeite has about the same hardness, between 6.0 and 7.0 Mohs hardness, as quartz, while nephrite is slightly softer, 6.0 to 6.5, and so can be worked with quartz or garnet sand, and polished with bamboo or even ground jade. However, nephrite is tougher and more resistant to breakage. Among the earliest known jade artifacts excavated from prehistoric sites are simple ornaments with bead, button, and tubular shapes. Additionally, jade was used for adze heads, knives, and other weapons, which can be delicately shaped. As metalworking technologies became available, the beauty of jade made it valuable for ornaments and decorative objects. Unusual varieties. The name nephrite derives from the Greek word meaning kidney. This is because in ancient times it was believed that wearing this kind of jade around the waist could cure kidney disease. Nephrite can be found in a creamy white form known in China as mutton fat jade, as well as in a variety of light green colors, whereas jadeite shows more color variations, including blue, brown, red, black, dark green, lavender, and white. Of the two, jadeite is rarer, documented in fewer than 12 places worldwide. Translucent emerald green jadeite is the most prized variety, both historically and today. As Quetzal jade, bright green jadeite from Guatemala was treasured by Mesoamerican cultures, and as kingfisher jade, vivid green rocks from Burma became the preferred stone of post-1800 Chinese imperial scholars and rulers. Burma, Myanmar, and Guatemala are the principal sources of modern gem jadeite. In the area of Mogaong in the Myitkyina district of Upper Burma, jadeite formed a layer in the dark green serpentine and has been quarried and exported for well over 100 years. Canada provides the major share of modern lapidary nephrite. Enhancement. Jade may be enhanced, sometimes called stabilized. Some merchants will refer to these as grades, but degree of enhancement is different from color and texture quality. In other words, type A jadeite is not enhanced, but can have poor color and texture. There are three main methods of enhancement, sometimes referred to as the ABC treatment system. Type A jadeite has not been treated in any way except surface waxing. Type B treatment involves exposing a promising but stained piece of jadeite to chemical bleaches and/or acids and impregnating it with a clear polymer resin. This results in a significant improvement of transparency and color of the material. Currently, infrared spectroscopy is the most accurate test for the detection of polymer in jadeite. Type C jade has been artificially stained or dyed. The effects are somewhat uncontrollable and may result in a dull brown. In any case, translucency is usually lost. B plus C jade is a combination of B and C. It has been both impregnated and artificially stained. Type D. Jade refers to a composite stone, such as a doublet, comprising a jade top with a plastic backing. Industry. Myanmar. The jade trade in Myanmar consists of the mining, distribution, and manufacture of jadeite, a variety of jade in the nation of Myanmar, Burma. The jadeite deposits found in Myanmar's northern regions are the source of the highest quality jadeite in the world, noted by sources in China going as far back as the 10th century. Chinese culture places significant weight on the meaning of jade. As their influence has grown in Myanmar, so has the jade industry and the practice of exporting the precious mineral. Myanmar produces upward of 70% of the world's supply of high-quality jadeite. Most of the Myanmar's jadeite is exported to other nations, primarily Asian, for use in jewelry, art, and ornaments. The majority of the production is carried out by Myanmar Gem Enterprise, a state-owned venture which has enough liquid assets to run itself for 172 years.